lands to the seas. Life's an endless mystery. Stamp your passport one more time. Every place a new sublime. Smiles and stories we will share. Adventures waiting everywhere.
Hello, America. This is TV's Dave Galvin back yet again with another blog, vlog, clog, dog, sog, blog. I don't know what you want to call this, but in 10 minutes or less, we're going to talk about our topic. And our topic today is phones that go off at the most inappropriate time. Because cruises were such a large response from everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a different set of cruise secrets. Today we're going to talk about cruise line employee secrets that most passengers don't know. Ooh. This one is really fun. So let's get started. Number one, the cabin class system is real. So crew members live in the lower decks way down below. And there's a hierarchy, a strict hierarchy. Officers do get better cabins. They get better food. They do get better privileges and so forth. Depending on the cruise line, most of the crew employees are not allowed to mingle, go upstairs, and be with the passengers. Most of the cruise lines are like this. I know Royal Caribbean is. If you are an entertainer, you are allowed to go upstairs and mingle with everybody. On the other hand, if you're not, you have to stay down below whether you like it or not. It kind of sucks. Sounds like a crappy job. Why would anyone want that? Number two, every ship has a brig or a holding cell and a morgue that can hold multiple bodies. You're never going to see them, and hopefully you never will. The brig is there if you commit crimes like serious crimes, if you get too drunk and you start a fight, etc., etc. You have also seen TikTok, Instagram videos of people who have caused problems who are on strict cabin arrest. They literally will post security at your door and you cannot get out. No joke. And they will, if you break the rules enough, they will kick you off at whatever the next port is. I've seen video of whole families kicked off at the Bahamas. And they're like, what are we going to do? How are we going to get home? Well, it's not their problem. You broke the rules. So the brig is a real thing. As far as the morgue is concerned, look, there's very rarely any seriously violent crime, but people die of natural causes. It happens. And so they have to put the bodies somewhere. It's an unfortunate reality. But it has to exist. The crew members have a hidden nightclub. This is very true. Crew members have to relax and unwind. They work 7 days a week. This isn't a part-time job for them. They work 7 days a week. So they have their own place where they get to sort of unwind and relax and chill. It's a crew-only bar or in a dance hall. It's always on the lower decks, and I have heard stories of quote-unquote wild parties. It is totally off-limit to passengers. I have heard that if crew members get drunk and rowdy, that they can lose their jobs because of it. It's a place to unwind, not get dropped down drunk. The next one, number 4, not all food is fresh. Now, while the cruise dining, it looks very luxurious. Many meals are actually pre-cooked. Some of them are flash frozen and simply reheated, especially for the buffet and the lower tiered restaurants. The higher the tier restaurant, your steakhouse, etc., the more fresh that food's going to be. And whatever leftovers they have will probably end up in a stew or a soup or a goulash for the buffet later on. They are always very conscious of food waste. Nobody likes to buy food and throw it away. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to try to use as much of it as possible. Here's an interesting note. When I took the tour of the Navigator of the Seas a couple years ago, the lady said, hey, this particular ship, people who don't eat their food and you got a plate of food and they just throw it away, we don't throw it away. We put it in a machine, the machine chops it up, and it actually drops it down below for the fishes. So at least the fish are getting fed. She was actually saying there is actually a path of sea life that follows cruise ships for the food. It's just easy food for them to get. I thought that was kind of fun. Number 5, the crew knows who's going to get kicked off early. If you're behaving badly, security is watching. A guest removal notice gets posted behind the scenes, and everyone behind the scenes, of course, is talking about it. Probably because they've seen the video of you behaving badly. Look, the cruise ship is like a casino. Every nook and cranny, except for the restrooms and your private quarters, is under camera. Everyone's watching you. People are watching you. You kind of expect it, don't you? And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. So, if you behave badly, if you're harassing people, whether they are crew members or whether they are other guests like yourself, look, you're going to get removed, you're going to get warned, and then eventually booted off the ship. Number 6, tips will make or break a crew member's paychecks. Look, automatic gratuities are split up, but direct cash tips make a huge difference. I am the master of the $20 handshake. You get the $20 bill, you fold it, and then you hold it with your thumb, and then you shake the person's hand, and you're good to go. I always tip $20 per day to my stateroom attendant. And I try to do it before the cruise even leaves the dock. I just say, here is all the gratuities that you're going to make while we are here. I'm just going to give it to you right now. That way we don't lose it, we don't accidentally spend it, we don't gamble it away, whatever. Here. And you want to know what? That stateroom attendant gives us penthouse suite attendants. Seriously. They treat us with white glove quality service every single time. I've never had a stateroom attendant not know what they're doing, not do their job. They do everything perfectly. And I think a lot of it is because I'm giving them $20 a day and so forth. So don't think that tips aren't important. They are. Don't be a cheapskate. Number 7, there's a secret staff romance culture. Ooh. Crew members are on long contracts, and they often engage in discreet onboard relationships. Some of them not so discreet. But some even get married between their contracts, too. It's actually kind of cool. The best time to ask for free upgrades. Okay, listen. Try after embarkation when no-shows are confirmed. Sometimes the manager may bump you up if you ask nicely. Sometimes. Especially if you are loyal or sometimes even traveling solo. If it's your first cruise, your second cruise, probably not going to happen. If this is your 12th cruise on the cruise line, maybe get a conversation going. The next one, they can tell immediately if you're a first-time cruiser. New cruisers always overpack. They arrive early. They ask the same 3 questions. Where's the food? Is the water safe? What's free? Yada, yada, yada. Once you've been on one cruise, all the questions just were answered for me, and I was good. I always do ask, however, where's the food? That's sort of a running joke for me. As I'm walking up the ramp, I always say, where's the food? Where's the food? And I jokingly tell whoever answers me, they should put a sign that says food this way, because that's where most people head to, is where the food is, because they usually skip breakfast or have a very light breakfast, and they're hungry as they've been waiting outside. The excursions sold at the cruise line through the website, through the app, the cruise is getting a cut of that. If you don't think the cruise is getting a cut of that, you're getting fooled. And sometimes the company offering the excursion isn't really making much bank off of it. Sometimes the cruise line is actually keeping such a large chunk, but it's the only way that these mom and pops, which they are mom and pops, could actually put a butt in a seat and hopefully get tips in the hands of the employees. Now, the next one is crew track passengers by onboard spending. So frequent spenders get flagged as VIPs behind the scenes. This means they do get more attention from the staff, and sometimes they'll get a surprise perk or two. Many of the crew work 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's grueling. Most of these people are on a 6 to 9 month contract, 0 days off. Respect goes a long way. Treat these people well. Our last cruise, we were on Liberty Bibberty of the Seas. We're walking out of Giovanni's, the Italian restaurant. The manager of the restaurant, she's all dressed up. She's great. She was great. Well, she's sitting at the desk at the front where you first check in, and she's sitting there, and she's like that. She was exhausted. And we felt so bad for her. These people work hard. They work long hours. Treat them well. All right, that's it for this week. This is Tuesday. I'm glad you stayed for our blog, vlog, clog, podcast, whatever this. Please hit the like button and subscribe. We will see you on Thursday.